Okay, so last unit we worked on making money with investments. Okay, investing money isn't for everybody. Obviously, you have to have extra cash laying around often to be investing. If you're living by paycheck to paycheck, you're probably not going to be doing extra investing. But more often than not, everyone deals with debt, borrowing money. Let's talk about in life where you're going to probably find yourself borrowing money and in debt. Give me something that you're going to have. Student loans. What else could you buy in life that's going to put you into debt? What do you think, Emily? A house? Anything else? A car, vehicle? What did you say, gambling? Hopefully not an addiction to gambling, but that could be. Have you ever heard of credit card debt? Okay, here's question 1. Lars borrowed $12,000 from a bank, 5% compounded monthly. He was going to buy a new watercraft, like a boat. The bank will use the watercraft as collateral for the loan. Lars negotiated regular loan payments of $350 at the end of each month until the loan is paid off. Okay, so just a definition, collateral is an asset that's held as security against the repayment of the loan. So, yeah, he's trying to pay off the watercraft, okay, but the bank actually owns the boat the whole time until it's officially paid off. Same with like a house mortgage, right? I have a house, it's not mine. It's the bank's technically, right? Because I don't have my mortgage paid off. So as much as I say I have a house, it's actually not my house. It's still the bank's house. So if I'm ever in a situation where I can't make my payments on that house, boom, the bank just takes it and it's theirs. And everything I've put into it is gone. It's just theirs. Okay, so that's kind of how loans work. Okay, so here's what would kind of look like on a spreadsheet. If we started at $12,000, okay, and we paid $350 off, but there was interest. So I did 5%, obviously divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly. So that times the 12,000 is 50 bucks. So on my payment, out of the 350, I'm going to split it. 300 goes to knocking down the price, and $50 the bank takes. Okay? So now I'm going to carry forward $11,700 because I knocked the price down by 300. Times this together makes interest rate like that. I keep making $350 payment. This time the split is like this. So this is how much I knock the price down, and this is how much the bank takes out of that $350. So what can you see? As, okay, actually we'll talk about it down here. As you see the trend, what's happening? The longer you go in a mortgage or a loan, how is the money getting split between the interest and the principal? Okay, so right away when you start a loan, your interest is high and the money that you're paying on the principal is low. And then by the end of the loan, it switches. And more of your $350 is going towards the boat instead of to the bank. Okay, so here's what I'm going to kind of write. At the start, more of your money was going to the bank and less was going towards the boat. then towards the end of the loan, on my payments, then more would be going to the boat and less would be going to the bank. Okay? It's really sad when you look at your house payments online and then you notice when you're paying whatever, $1,000, and out of that $1,000, 400 of it is just going straight to the bank. Okay? And that's the real life. Okay, how long did it take to pay this off? So we're going to get our calculator feature out. Okay, I'm making a regular payment on this. So which option do I have? Simple, compound, or the app? The app. You have to do the app. Okay, so N. Write those numbers or letters all down. Okay, so the N will be the question mark because the question is how long does it take to pay it off. I is 5%. The previous value would be the 12,000. And that is actually positive, right? Because it's not money that came out of my pocket, right? So that's positive. Payment is negative 350, right? Because that is money that's coming out of my pocket. The future value is to pay off the loan, 0. So when I read this, he's making these loan payments at the end of each month. So payments per year is 12. And then in this part of the sentence, the interest was compounded monthly. So we have all of that. So let's see if you can figure out the N. I'm getting a 37.07. Anybody match? Okay. What? 37 years, 37 weeks, 37 months. What? What are we? Months. Okay. So this is an awkward thing about rounding here. Do you understand that I can't answer this as 37 months? I will be a little bit into the 38th month. Okay? During the 38th month, I won't have to make $350 because I probably will only have a little bit left. Does that make sense to you? You're going to pay 37 months of $350, and then on the 38th month, it might just be whatever, $20 left on your loan or something. You just have to make a partial payment. So it still will take me 31 months. Or why did I say 31? 38. Wow. Where would I have gotten 31? 38. You always will have to round up, no matter what. Because the last month would be a partial.
Can we answer it in years too?
Yes. Some of you forgot on your test that N, I think there was a question with the weeks, right? And then everybody divided it by 12. Or lots of people did. What's that?
Isn't it 52 weeks?
Yeah. That's what you were supposed to do.
I was stopping up for good.
Yeah. Okay. How much did he spend all together? So $350. And he did that 37.07 ... times. Okay, why do you think I'm writing this with a bunch of dots? I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, so home screen, apps, finance, VARs, and then that would be the N. I'm just going to enter so that it's on my screen. So that many months, and each month was $350. So that's how much this boat cost me at the end. So how much interest, aka how much did the bank take from it? So what would I do? I would subtract them, right? So I had to pay this, and it should have only, I paid this, but it should have only cost me that. Okay, just wait till we get to the house mortgages and you realize your $200,000 house actually costs you almost $400,000 or whatever. It's going to be crazy. Oh, whoops. Now that I flipped the page, that's where we were supposed to do it. Sorry. I guess that was me setting you up for a spreadsheet, but we're not going to do it on the spreadsheet. Look at that. We could have used that. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Trina's employer loaned her 10 grand, fixed interest rate of 6% compounded annually to pay her student loans for college. The loan is to be repaid in a single payment at the end of the 5 years. Okay, simple interest formula, compound interest formula, or regular app. Well, compounded annually, so simple interest is for sure out. Is this just a one-time thing, or is there regular payments happening in between? One time. So A equals P, 1 plus R divided by N, and T.
What's the maturity?
The maturity date? When you get let's say a mortgage on your house, you can choose how to, like, you could lock it in for 5 years, and then in 5 years you have to pick a different interest rate on what the interest rate is at that time. So interest rates have been going up like crazy right now on housing. So like I was fortunate, like last year I had a house that renewed, so I got to lock that in for 5 years, but then once that 5 years hit, it's its maturity date, and then I have to redo my mortgage on it again, like with a new interest rate. And sometimes you can do variable rates where you don't lock it in, and then your rates go up and down because you're just, not for me. I'm not a risk taker like that. Okay, loaned her 10 grand. So that's going to be what the loan started out as. 1 plus r. So decimal divided by the n. So compounded annually. Annually over 5 years. How much will she owe when this loan matures? So that's going to get us right to that. Okay, go ahead. You can just type that in. Maybe your parents would give you loans like this. Anybody's parents say, I'm charging you interest and loaning you some money? I don't know, but I already have mom tax at my house, so that's when I have to collect a part candy from them. Okay, that's how much money she's going to have to pay back in 5 years to her friend. What's the interest? So how much interest? Then we subtract. Okay, so her friend made over $3,000 off of her. Or her employer, sorry, whatever she's. So some people think, well, like this doesn't make sense. Why would anybody do this? Well, obviously you don't have 10 grand just laying around all the time or whatever, right? Same with the house. You don't have $200,000 laying around. You just have to do a mortgage. Okay, number 3. Annette wants a home improvement loan to renovate her kitchen. Bank is going to charge 3.6%, compounded quarterly. She already has a 10-year GIC that will mature in 5 years. When her GIC reaches maturity, then she wants to use that money to repay the home improvement loan with one payment. One payment. She wants the amount of the payment to be no more than $20,000. So how much can she borrow? Okay. What strategy should we use? Simple interest? Nope. There's something with compounded. Do we make regular payments? No. So then we can go into the compound formula. Okay, so these were the questions you should have been asking yourself on that test, right? Simple? No. Should I use compound or should I use regular payments? Okay. So we want, at the very end, we don't want to be any more than $20,000. That's the most we want to have to repay. How much can she take out for a loan for this kitchen? 0.036. Some of you on that last test had a little bit of trouble moving the decimal. Compounded quarterly. Quarterly over 5 years. Okay. So this one, I probably would pick just algebra to do it. I would type that into my calculator. Some of you could do y1, y2, but the algebra is not too bad on this. So I got 16,718. That's the loan. Okay, we good with that one? I did get this with my calculator app as well, but I don't really like to use it because sometimes those payments, I don't know why they throw it off, but I did get it. Want me to close the blinds? Blinding you?
It's like, it's the floor, it's not really the. No. It's just right off the floor.
Close the blind.
Thank you. That part was just what we should have done on our map on. She like gave us space.
Okay, solve. Okay, we're doing a mortgage on a house. Oh, we're gonna have to make a 10% down payment on the purchase price. Then the loan is gonna be at 3.75, compounded semi-annually, 20 years with monthly mortgage payments. Which method am I doing? Simple formula, compound formula, regular payment app. I'm going to be making monthly mortgage payments. So we got to do the app. Okay, so we have something new with this question. We're gonna make a $10,000, or not 10,000, 10% down payment before we do the loan. So what I'm going to do is the purchase of the house times 0.10, right? 10% as a decimal. So before I go make my loan, I just give that. Okay, and this is a thing when you buy a house. When you're a first-time homeowner, I don't know if they still have a first-time homeowner thing to get into a house, because lots of first-time buyers can't pay $40,000 right on day one or whatever it might be. Okay, so we're gonna pay that. So my loan is going to be, how do I find my loan now? I'm going to have to subtract. So my house was that, but I've already paid off Okay, so my loan is going to be for $202,500. Does that make sense? The loan. That's how much money I need to borrow. Okay, 3.75. Put the 3.75 in. Compounded semi-annually. So compounds 2. Your house, you're going to be paying over 20 years. What do we need in the end? 20 times, what should we do? 12. 20 years, we're making monthly payments for 20 years. So monthly payments. And you're going to get your loan down to 0. Okay, figure out your payment then. Does that seem appropriate? A house payment? Yep. Okay. We're going to talk about what's going to happen by the end of this mortgage, how much we've paid. Okay. So I will be paying $1197.55. I'm putting dots on that though. How many times are you going to pay that? 12 times a year for 20 years, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. Home screen, apps, finance, VARs, PMT, enter. Okay, I personally don't like it being negative, so quickly I'm just going to go times -1, enter. We did that payment 12 times a year for 20 years. What else did we pay though? That's not everything that came out of our pocket. So we're talking everything that's come out of our pocket over 20 years. What else? We've also paid that down payment, right? On day 1, we put in a bunch of money as well. So doesn't that make you feel really good that your $225,000 house ended up costing you almost $310,000 instead? Okay, and then that's question C, by the way. And then the interest is, you're going to have to subtract those numbers now. Okay, so the total minus what the house would have cost is the lovely amount that the bank took from you. So the bank almost got $85,000 of your money.